And we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Gatsby Speaks. What we're going to be talking about tonight is the idea that without pain, there is no wisdom. So before I start, I want you guys to understand, I'm not talking about physical pain. I'm talking about emotional, mental, psychological versions and forms of pain, and how enduring those and experiencing those and taking from those experiences will help you gain and learn what it means to have wisdom. So when we talk about without pain, there is no wisdom, you have to understand that everything that you come across, every situation that is presented to you, every obstacle, every lesson that comes across you is meant to cause you some discomfort, is meant to cause you some pain. And when you quickly realize what those things are meant to do for you and why they're causing you pain is when you start to transcend into a place where you can understand how you're going to gain wisdom, how you're going to come out of those situations a better person, or with another skill set, or with more knowledge than you already had. And when I talk about pain, specifically, I'm talking about three types of pain. And those pain points are pain of discipline, the pain of regret, and the pain of patience. So just getting right into what those three types of pain are, when I talk about the pain of discipline, a lot of times people are obviously coming across situations, and having discipline is something that is tested time and time and time and time again. So when we talk about the pain of discipline, being able to put yourself in a position to understand that even though you may want to do something, even though you may want to cut a corner, even though you may want to cheat, even though you may want to be dishonest, or whatever the case may be, when it comes to this pain of discipline, it is something that you need to be able to put yourself in a position to experience, to gain, and understand why the pain of discipline is so important. So when we talk about having discipline and talk about that pain point, understanding that no matter what comes across you, no matter what you're faced with, you're not going to deter from what it is that you said you are going to do. You're not going to change what it is that you feel. You're not going to change your mission. You're not going to do anything different because you're disciplined enough to stay on task. You're disciplined enough to continue to move forward at the same pace, at the same rigorous amount of work that's required, at the same level of energy that you've already put in. You're going to continue to do the same things day in and day out. So that's what the pain of discipline is, and understanding that if you don't experience that, if you always are looking to just shortcut or cheat your way out of it, then the wisdom of understanding the process of being able to just grow from things, understanding the arduous journey of having to put yourself in a position to continue to work for the things that you want, no matter what it requires, no matter what it takes, you're not going to understand that. You're not going to be able to enjoy what it is that is for you because you don't have that discipline. You don't have that mindset that you're going to experience, and you're going to envelop yourself in whatever it is that it takes as far as discipline is concerned in order to get where it is that you want. And that's where that wisdom comes from, is that you're going to have to be able to put yourself in a position of, learning is a repetition of doing. You have to continue to do these things over and over and over and over and over again. Now, when we talk about the discipline of regret, or not the discipline of regret, the pain of regret. When we talk about the pain of regret, understanding that there's going to be situations that you're going to make the wrong decisions. There's going to be times that you're going to make the wrong choice, and understanding that you're going to regret some of those decisions, and those decisions are going to ultimately drive you insane if you understand that you feel like you regret them. You can't experience the pain of regret. Yes, you have to embrace it. You have to feel like, damn, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have said this differently. But ultimately, taking the pain of regret and taking it into a teaching experience, a learning experience, something that puts you in a position where you're learning, hey, maybe in a situation I couldn't have done this. Maybe in a situation I should have done this a little bit better. And understanding that pain of regret puts you in a position where you're actually forced to sit with what it is that you did, and understand how to get better, understand how to communicate better, understand how to receive better, understand that maybe you didn't hold your standards to the highest T for yourself, and that you let your standards become negotiable. Any of those scenarios, those things are called the pain of regret. And like I said, being able to wish you can go back, like that's a painful experience enough in itself, just to wish you can go back and do something different that you had no control over at this point. So understanding that the pain of regret is a teacher, and is a teacher in the sense that it's going to teach you what to do the next time, what to do not going forward. So that's what the pain of regret is. Now, when we talk about the next point of pain, we're talking about pain of patience. And in a sense, it sounds like it's the same thing as discipline, but pain of patience is completely different. When we talk about the pain of patience, is to understand that ultimately we all are in different places. We all are experiencing things at a different rate. We're all experiencing things in consciousness and subconscious levels that we can't really explain, or we can't really articulate to somebody else. And sometimes we act on those things differently. Sometimes we speak about those things differently. Sometimes we project and display what our pain is or what it is that we're going through in a different manner, in a manner that nobody else can understand. And you have to be patient. You have to be patient enough to understand that you yourself might be in that position where you can't express yourself and you don't know how to express yourself. But the best thing to do is to be patient. Is to continue to think about what it is that's happening to you, what it is that you're experiencing, and understand that it might not be the best time to talk about it. It might not be the best time to just throw it on someone else. They might not be in a place to receive it. Or you put yourself in a position to understand that maybe the person that you're dealing with or the people that you're dealing with, your job, the situations that you're in, might not be able to give you the necessary resources or the necessary information to understand, to help you understand what it is that's happening outside of yourself, what it is that's happening inside of them, and what they're trying to convey and what it is that they're trying to say. And to understand that ultimately, are these things that are triggers for you, or are they triggers for the other person? Are they reflections of the other person, or are they reflections of you? And you have to understand that. And the reason why you have to, or the way that you're able to understand it is being able to have patience and going through that. Sometimes it sucks. You're not going to get the answers that you're looking for right away. You're not always going to be able to come right away to a conclusion on what it is that's happening in a scenario or situation. Sometimes you have to let time pass. Sometimes you have to let things transpire themselves. Sometimes you have to let things get ugly and nasty in order for you to see exactly where people are coming from, because they might not necessarily be able to express themselves in an outright, out for emotionally responsible and mature manner. So sometimes you gotta let that stuff pass, and sometimes you gotta just let it see for what it is, and then you'll be able to come back and experience and understand what it is that's happened, what it is that's happening outside yourself, and to be able to have the patience to endure that pain, to be able to have the patience to see what's happening, and to be able to attach and detach as necessary to understand this isn't for me, or this is for me, and this is what I need to get from this, or this is what it is that I need to remove myself from so that I can continue to move forward in a positive manner and in a healthy direction. But when you experience all those different types of pains, like I said, pain of discipline, the pain of regret, the pain of patience, that's when you gain wisdom. And that's when you start to understand what it means to be able to be introspective and retrospective in regards to any situation, anything that you're dealing with, whether it be interpersonal relationships or people that you are personally close to, or your job, or any kind of goal or anything that you have in mind. Is understand that without experiencing those pains, you have to understand that you have to embrace that pain in order to gain that wisdom. So you have to understand that without one, the other does not exist. So I just wanted to keep the message short and brief for you guys so you understand that there is a process. There's something you got to trust. There's an arduous journey, but you just got to roll with it and embrace it. But as always, I hope you guys took a lot from me tonight. And I want you to always remember these things. I want you to move with a purpose, speak with passion, love with conviction, and to always authentically be the best version of yourself. Good night.